Yes, people. Welcome back to You Know What It Is, GNA TV. I am your host, Jem, and let's cue that intro. Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well wherever it is that you may be around the world. And we are here to do the match reaction, player rating show, and also open up the lines for you guys to come in and have your say about yesterday's talk and topics of the game. I'm going to give you my thoughts of the game very quickly, go through some of the player ratings of you guys for each individual, talk about the players individual. I want you guys to get involved in the chat, so please make sure you continue to do that. The link will then be released, and then for about an hour you guys can sit with me, talk about the game, talk about individual players, because there was a lot to talk about yesterday. Obviously, we got the job done, which was the most important thing. But before we move forward, guys, there's there's 11 of you here right now. Please smash the like button for GNA TV. If you can do that, smash the like button. We want to try and get to 30 to 40 likes as quickly as possible. Share on all your socials as well. Let's let people know that we are currently live and kicking, as they say, live and kicking. And yeah, I appreciate you all being here as always. A couple of people in the chat already. Who have we got in the chat? Let's have a look. We have got Mr. Fatter in the house. Big up to him. Yeah, Johnny came on the full terrace last night. It's quite funny. Mendy is winning Golden Glove, is what ZVO Genius saying. Big up to him. Concierge of Crime, pray for the rivals. Smash the like button is what he's saying as well. Pray for them goddamn rivals. David's not a real supporter of Chelsea because he's always speaks bad for our club, and many people hate him from the comments. I just don't know why Terry thinks he is a Chelsea supporter. Listen, David's one of them guys that's just never overly excited about an individual player or in an individual. He's very reserved. You know, he's very reserved. People would say I'm the same as well, but my reservations always have some sort of answer to it as well. You know, so big up to you though. How many times I caught on Sky, mate? I saw you on Sky Sports loads of times. One where Lukaku standing next to the flag yesterday, going like that. I see you just going mad, like ah! It's quite funny actually, Fatter. I'm not going to lie, it was quite funny. Big up to Jacob as well. Big up to everyone in the chat. Listen, guys, let's talk about the game, shall we? Obviously, I want to know what your thoughts are. So the overall, for me, the overall game, how it went, what I thought, what I thought of the game. I think the game went well. I don't think it was. I think it was a good. It was a good win. It was a good win. We got stuck in. I don't think it was a great performance. I honestly don't think it was a great performance. However, we got the job done. We got the 3 points. Some people would argue that in that game last year, if we went back to last year before Tuchel, if we got ourselves into position like we did yesterday in the first half, where we was finding it very hard to get into the game, would we have been able to foreseen that out? Would we have been able to get past that pressure? Yeah, the answer would probably been no. So I do get, to become a champion or be the champions of the Premier League, you have to play games like you did yesterday. It is what it is. You will have to play games like you did yesterday. Look, the first half I thought was very, very weirdly poor. You know, under Tuchel, it's been very evident that we're very hard to break down. People can't score goals against us. That wasn't the case yesterday. Villa were having chance after chance after chance. And I thought they were going to score. And if it wasn't for Mendy, who we're going to talk about today, and it wasn't for Thiago Silva in certain moments of that game, we could have been behind. There was talks about Saúl Niguez and his performances yesterday being so under par. I agree. It was very under par. But with Saúl Niguez, we'll touch on it again a bit later. I think time will tell with him. It's very early to comment on an individual on one game, especially when he just came from a completely different league. Big up to C1 London. He says, big up, Jim. A lot of average performances yesterday, but put respect on my midfielder's name, Kovac. We will talk about Kovacic, mate. We are definitely going to talk about Kovacic. Big up to Wayne. He says, big up yourself, please. Could you come over to Shah's Strong's YouTube channel, smash the like button and listen, she was meant to have done it on here today, but I completely forgot and she didn't come back to me till last minute. So bit of a pain, but yeah, it's we'll be back next week with that 100%. She's going to be doing the game on here. 30 to 50 minutes I thought were decent, but after the goal, we got pushed back a lot and our build-up play from the back wasn't good until Jorginho came on. Yeah, I agree. We just looked very unbalanced is the word, you know. We just looked really unbalanced. We looked like there wasn't... It really looked like there was much... Let's say control, but, you know, we lost control of the game. And I do think it was partly to do with the midfield, not having a strong midfield. So it's going to be... it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. Big up to Couch Critic who's in the house. Says, big up to my guy Jem. Early days, brother. We can be the champs, is what he's saying. We can be the champs. There's over 20 of you here, guys. Let's try and get to 30 likes. Share on all your socials. Let's let people know that we are currently live as well. The link's going to be in the chat very soon for you guys to get involved. But you know what we're going to do. We're going to go through the players, give our individual ratings. I'm going to talk a little bit about them and how I thought they performed. Then I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to come on and get involved as well. Declared says, good morning. Big up to you, bro. Big up Chelsea fan. Big up Priestley as well. Yeah, you know, big up to everyone. Moving ahead, Saúl will definitely fit better with Georgie or Kante. I agree. I think the one thing we can say about yesterday is that Saúl and Kovacic didn't look like it worked. It looked very unbalanced. Now, I don't know whether it's because Saúl, you know, was struggling to understand his role or his position or what was required of him. But yeah, again, we'll delve into it. They targeted our right hand side with Saúl, Cho, Chalobah. They targeted that side when we were building up the play, and they caught Cho out of position a couple of times. Same with Chalobah to a lesser extent. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. So let's delve into it. Let's do the player ratings. Let's quickly share the screen for you guys. Let's do it properly if we're going to do it. If you're going to do it properly. I want to start with Edouard Mendy because yesterday I was on the football terrace and I said that I think he's world class. And a lot of Arsenal fans, a lot of Man United fans, a lot of everything else turned around and said, you don't know what you're talking about. He is not world class. You know, he's a top goalkeeper, but he's not world class. I think he is world class. I think what we need to understand is this, which is massively important. When we got rid of, obviously we had this issue with Kepa, and then we brought in Mendy. When we brought in Mendy, none of this Chelsea fan base sat here and knew that Mendy was going to be as good as he is right now. He has been impeccable. Yes, when he came to Chelsea, he had certain parts of his games which you'd look at and be quite, you could say he's quite underwhelming, his distribution, etc. But he's worked on it. And now he can play out from the back. He's much better of a player from playing out the back. Goalkeeper from playing out the back. Yes, we know he can save goals. We know he's a good shot stopper. He can catch the ball, whatever. But for me, when you look at the Premier League goalies and currently what's in the Premier League at the moment, Mendy, as a footballer, is, for me, up there with the best in the Premier League. Top two, barring maybe Alisson. I know a lot of people say Edison as well. But if you're going to talk about form, I think Mendy is the best goalie in the Premier League based on form. How many clean sheets has this guy kept? You know, there's a lot of clean sheets that he's kept. He's only conceded one goal so far in 4 games. And a lot of this, oh, it's your defence is rubbish. He was so important yesterday. The saves in them first halves where he was, the reaction to being on the floor and making one save with one hand and then using his left to make the other save. Like, you know, it was, for me, he was part of the reason why we went in. Big part of the reason why we went in that second half still 1-0 up. We shouldn't have been 1-0 up. We should have been drawing that game. Let's be honest. We shouldn't have been, but we was. And for me, Edouard Mendy is world class. He is a world class goalie. There's not many. I know people go, but he's not Oblak level. He's not Neuer level. He's not. Maybe we can argue that, but he's on the route. He's definitely going on the route to become one of the best goalies in the world, and to be the Chelsea goalie. And I've always said this: to be a Chelsea goalie, hold your position, you have to be good. You have to be good. Look at Petr Cech, look at Thibaut Courtois, look at all these goalies that we've had in the past. Yeah, he has held his position, and he's won the Champions League. He's a Champions League winner. Again, very involved when you look at the Real Madrid game last season, and he's part of the reason why if we win the league this season, we will do it because of him, because of moments like yesterday when he's called up upon to make them saves. For me, he was a 9.5 out of 10. I think he was that good. 9.5 out of 10. People in the chat, let me know what ratings were for him. There's over 30 of you here right now. Continue to smash the like, continue to share. Let's let people know that we're currently live at the moment as well, who are probably still sleeping. Let's be honest. Mendy, what a save. He should be 20 out of 20. Good evening from Nick. Mendy says Mendy was 9.5. He saved us yesterday. The amount of free kicks and throw-ins we conceded yesterday, he dealt with that easy. The only thing, Jem, is Chelsea don't concede a lot of high danger chances. But yesterday, Couch Critic, we was in a lot of issues, a lot of problems, especially in the first half, where he was called upon not once but multiple times, and again he answers a question. He will step up when we need him, and that's the most important thing. That save from Watkins' shot at the near post was class, is what C1 London is saying. Mendy Courtois is what Sir Mason Mount is saying. He's the best in the world, is what Kai is saying. That's harsh. Mendy gets a 10. Mendy gets a 10 from Abs. That's what Abs is saying. 10, 9. 9, very good, kept us in the game until Georgie came on, and I agree, he was massively important to us. Let's move on. I'm going to start with right centre-back, Trevor Chalobah. Now, I thought he had a good game. I really did. I think the thing with Trevor Chalobah is that he's going to have games where he's not as good as he was in his first game. And so yesterday, I thought, especially in the first half, he done okay. But was he better than? I know it wasn't his best performance. Let's put it that way. It wasn't his best performance. He tried to be clever and ran out with the ball in the first half, and he kind of got he kind of got around one or two players, and then he lost the ball, and they nearly scored from it. If you remember, I think Ollie Watkins got played in on the left, cut inside, and nearly buried it in the bottom corner. So, I'd say it was an average performance by him. I don't think Trevor Chalobah done much wrong yesterday. He did other than that. But overall, he's a work in progress, and I think he will get better. He will get better. I think he was I'd say a 6.5, 7 is what I would probably say. Kai's saying 7.5. He was decent. Marcus, hey Jem, I think Mendy reflexes abilities is just pure class. It is, Marcus. It actually is massively pure class. Sir Mount 7, Kai 7.5 is what he's going. Chalobah was average. He showed up and did his job, is what ZVO Genius is saying as well. 6, 7, 7, 5. Trevor was decent most of the time. Sal put him in tough moments, but overall decent is what Concierge of Crime saying. I agree with you. My comment was in relation to the amount of clean sheets. I think you guys are still talking about Mendy here, aren't you? So I'll leave you to that. He did a good job. He was a 7, 6.5. Average. Average is a little bit harsh of a word, considering he's a kid. He had his third game. I think it was average. But you got to think about the barometers that he set in his first couple of games, and he was very, very good. I kept saying to people that he will have games where he's not that good. I wouldn't say he had a nightmare of a performance. I'll just say it was average. Average at best. So for me, 7 at a push, 6.57 is what I'd give Trevor Chalobah. Let's move on to man like Thiago Silva. Man like Thiago Silva yesterday, right? Bearing in mind he hadn't played football for Chelsea this season, probably hasn't even kicked a ball on the pitch in terms of match time I'm talking about. I thought he was unbelievable in the first half. I really do. The way he defended, the way he leaded, the way he cleared off the line when Ollie Watkins scuffed the ball, the way he knew that we were going through a tough patch and stepped up. he stepped up. He stepped up massively, and I think he deserves nothing less than a 9.5 for me. I thought Thiago Silva was up there with Mendy as the most important person in that first half in terms of how we were going in that game. And you know what? I think take hats off to him. He's still to this day, until he retires, a world-class player and an important player to this football club. 9. Thiago Silva gets a 10. Grayl's Dennis is 8, 9. He saved us in the first half. 4 a.m. Big up to Mr. HD. Good morning to you. 8.5 is what Seppas is saying. Man like Silva, why wasn't he the captain? 9 out of 10. And that was a weird one in itself. Why the hell was Alonso captain yesterday when you've got Thiago Silva on the pitch? I don't get it. Is that Tuchel saying like he's showing he's supporting Alonso? Is Alonso going to be starting more games? God knows, but we'll see. Thiago Silva was very good, is what Perry Sports was saying as well. Oh, Thiago Silva. Yeah, I agree, bro. Yeah, Thiago Silva still proving why he's world class. Thiago Silva's people tried saying that Gabriel, that Zambia, is better than him. I know, ridiculous, man. They're not even world class, any of them players. Thiago Silva is world class. For me, he was a 9.5, commanding, in control, defended very, very well. Every block from a shot, every tackle, every moment where we looked like we were going to concede, Thiago Silva was there. Thiago Silva was there, guys. He was important, massively important to the team. Alonso is one of the longest serving players in our team. Mean anything to me. Thiago Silva, Milan rejected. Yeah, that's true. Tuchel got to watch out so the players don't turn against him. Here we go, Man United fan. Varane over Thiago Silva. I'll tell you something now, and I'll say this with chest. Never. Your pace merchant doesn't know what day it is. You see the goal that he conceded yesterday with Maguire? The lack of communication between the two of them. Stop it, mate. Stop it. Thiago Silva all day, every day. Let's move on to Rudiger. Man like Rudiger. What are we saying about man like Rudiger? I think he had a good game. I think he was solid again, knows his role. I don't really know what to expect. I don't expect anything less from Rudiger anymore. I think he's that good. I genuinely think he's that good. He decided to take a shot from the halfway line, which was a bit crazy. And then if you remember near the end of this first half, he started laughing at it. I thought that was quite funny, actually. But his overall game, positioning, the way he defended, I'll give him a 7 to 8, maybe an 8, 7.5, 8. I thought he was very good, Rudiger. What are people saying in the chat? Rudiger gets a 7. 7. Rudiger is a beast, is what Marcus is saying. 8. Get lots of 8s for Rudiger. 8. Rudiger's biggest career comeback. He's better than Varane. Hassan is saying he's better than Varane. Do we agree, people? Do we agree with what Hassan says there? He's better than Varane. Guys, we are on 27 likes. We're 3 away from 30. Please continue smashing the like button. Please share on your socials as well. Hit the share button below on the show, and it will let people know that we're live. Get them involved. Get them adding, subscribing. We're 30 away from 2.6k as well. The link in it is going to be open to you guys very soon once I've gone through this as well. Great work done from the Blues. Lukaku deserved everything. Mendy is the last man standing. Bravo to Chelsea. We fans, we are happy, is what Joseph is saying. Big up to him as well. Big up to him. So let's move on. Let's move on to... I don't even know. Oh, he is there. Let's move on to this guy. Saúl Niguez. Saúl Niguez on his debut, guys. What were my thoughts on Saúl Niguez? Well, he struggled, is the answer to that. He struggled. He was getting caught in possession. He didn't know. It was like he was lost in many ways. He was lost in himself. He wasn't sure, at the tempo of the game. He really made it hard for us. He really made it hard for us in midfield. I felt like Kovacic was a one-man band in midfield. You know, he won. You know, the one thing I would say is he's very good in the air. He wins the balls in the air quite a lot, which is quite impressive. But his overall game, his overall performance was just not good enough. Was not good enough. And I'm not going to sit here and criticise him because it's his first game, guys. We need to relax. First game, coming from the Spanish league, needs to learn to adapt to the tempo, to the different style of how we play. I think Saúl Niguez, after he gets a bit more game time and settles down, will get better, a lot better. He has to get better than what he was yesterday. It was, you know, painful in many ways. He was giving free kicks away. He was getting caught out the ball at possession in midfield, and it was hard. It really, really was. Oh, here we go. Man United fan. Sosa says 2. Couch Critic says 2. Let it be real. He was horrible. Yeah, potentially. I agree. He was horrible. 3 Sal is what Athletic Skills is saying. 4, 5, 3, 1, 2.5, 3. Wow. Wow. He's getting it from you guys. Sarasota, he was the problem yesterday. He was the reason why we couldn't hold the ball. And he put Cho and Chalobah in danger at times, but in the first game, but 2.5 is what C1 Lund's giving. Look, as bad as he was yesterday, and I think part of the reason why Villa were getting so much joy was part of the midfield, and you can blame him for it. I don't think he was the only one that we could blame in the game, especially in the first half. There was more players for me that we will talk about that just wasn't good enough, but he was definitely one of them. Sal proving the Prem over La Liga. There you go. Yeah, he's just not going to get the time on the ball. And we just have to see how it goes, guys, with Saúl Niguez. But if we're going to be honest, based on yesterday's game, he wasn't good enough. He just wasn't good enough. He struggled massively. And I expect more from him moving forward in a Chelsea shirt. So we will see with Saúl Niguez. Let's talk about man like Callum Hudson-Odoi. Right wing back yesterday. No Reece James, as we know he's on a ban at the moment. Again, and this is going to go back to all the Chohos, because there's so many Chohos out there that will get the ump about this. He's been given the opportunity. Did he take it? Did he take his opportunity yesterday? Because as right wing back, I thought he was non-existent. I thought Villa were targeting us in that area because he's ineffective. He's more ineffective because he has to defend, right? And when you ask him to defend, he's not the best at doing so. So I think Callum Hudson-Odoi, again, has been given an opportunity to turn up and show us fans what he's about and what he can become. The new Sancho is what I'm being told, yeah? The new Sancho, Callum Hudson-Odoi. He got moved from right wing back in the second half and put as a left, just behind Lukaku as one of the two behind. He was in his comfortable position. He got the ball, and instead of being progressive, instead of dribbling, instead of playing to his strengths, he chose the option to play easy, to not be as involved with the ball, to pick the ball up and not do anything amazing with it. This is the reason why Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I keep saying it, the reason Callum Hudson-Odoi can't get in front of Ziyech, Pulisic, Havertz, Werner, Mount, is because of Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's because of Callum Hudson-Odoi. He lets himself down. I'm sorry, he does. And we can't keep going, well, because he gets played out of position. He's limited right wing back. I don't accept it anymore. I'm sorry. He just wasn't good enough. He just wasn't good enough for Chelsea. You know, we've got to just say it as it is. And I hope he gets more games. And he wasn't good yesterday. And I hope he does get more games to prove us wrong. But at the moment, again, he hasn't really sat there and given Tuchel a problem. Like, Tuchel could sit back now after that game and think, Cho didn't play well. Ziyech didn't play well. Sal didn't play well. You know, the boys on the bench that hadn't been playing, who are our most consistent players, you know, they've not really challenged them. Not really putting any challenge on them. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, what are people saying? 4 out of 10, 9, 6. How many likes you want to invite us into? You all get invited on the show, guys. I'm going to run through the ratings. Once I'm through the ratings, you guys can get involved. But we need to get to 40 likes. We're on 32 likes. We want 40. We're 8 away from 40 likes. Smash the like button. Share away. Exciting to see him play up front, but he didn't take his chance. Exactly. 5, 6. I'm going to say a 5. I think a 5's even nice. I don't think he was that good for what he is. I didn't think he played very well. 5, he had a couple of okay dribbles and a few good crosses, is what Couch Critic is saying. He just wasn't good enough, man. We're asking on a 20-year-old to expand on his game that hasn't even been developed yet. But then for it to develop, he needs game time. Once he's got the game time, he has to take his opportunity. If he doesn't take his opportunity, he won't get in this squad. If he doesn't get in this squad, then he shouldn't be at our football club. We need people that are going to be able to compete at the highest level, and that's the issue. Big up to Bobby. Bobby saying, poor performances from Niguez, Cho and Ziyech. I hope Cho and Ziyech play the next game so they can redeem themselves. I hope they don't, to be honest. I hope they don't. And that sounds bad. I actually honestly hope they don't. But let's move on because we have to fly through this. I want to get you involved. Where is he? Where is he? Kovacic. Let's go Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic was one of the 3 boys that I would say, 3 guys that played yesterday that I would say was man of the matches. The performance of Mateo Kovacic yesterday was of a performance that we've been waiting to see from him for a while. Not only was he winning the ball, he was taking them on. He was quicker than everyone in midfield. He was even up with Lukaku at some points next to him, supporting, trying to win the ball back high up the pitch, which he done so well. He got his goal. Why? Because he was hungry. He wanted it. He wanted to get there, and he deserved that goal, He really did. He really deserved that goal. And he set up Lukaku as well. He set up Lukaku with a nice little finish as well, which we got to bear in mind. Great goal from Lukaku, and that we'll get to him later. But the one thing that we bang on about with Mateo Kovacic, which he doesn't do enough, and he's not, and I hope he improves on, is his final third passing. Now, that ball that he did to Lukaku was perfect. There was a couple of times in the second half where he got himself in the same similar position, and his pass let him down. If you remember when Cho was running off on the right, he was going in towards the goal, and he tried to just pass it across, and it was a weak pass. Like, he does have that in him, but we need more consistency. If he can improve his final third passing, I think he would be undroppable. I think we would have a complete midfielder in Mateo Kovacic. For me, he was a 9. He was a 9. He was a definite 9. 9.5 is what Couch is saying. 10 is what Abs is saying. Abs is giving everyone 10. Concierge is saying he's a 10 as well. He was a 10. Chalobah didn't help Odoi, but when Odoi went to attack, he was so good. I don't think he was, Naz. I don't know what game you're watching, bro, but I don't think he was. I expect your opinion, though. Cover 9.5, my midfielder. He carries out midfield in the first half. Can pass forward. Shut up. What? He can't pass forward. I got on. What? Covers on midfield. He carried out the midfield in the first half. He can't pass forward. Well, he can't pass. I mean, he did yesterday, but in the past, he struggled to pass forward. Let's be serious. He has struggled to pass forward. So people keep smashing the like button. Over 33 of you here right now. Continue to share. Let's let people know that we are currently live as well. And let's close it to 40 likes, guys. Let's close it to 40. Declared saying let's give him a 10. He shined when others weren't great, is what he's saying as well. Fair enough. Let's move on. What about this? Where is he? Why aren't you on there? Oh, is it? Trying to find Alonso, and I found him. This guy was our captain yesterday. Another average performance from me. I don't get big up to Aaron, by the way. Keep smashing the likes, guys. 50 likes is the aim. 40 of you here right now. Let's go. How is this guy still getting a team, and why is Chilwell on the bench? Is the question mark that we get in a lot. Why is Alonso getting games over him? Now, I thought yesterday he had an average game again. If I was sitting there, and if I was Tuchel and I was sitting there, I think to myself, we have got better on the bench. We've got someone like in Chilwell that can do what Alonso does going forward, but also can defend and has pace. Can track back. Do you know what I mean? Can actually defend. Alonso is just not. I don't get how this guy continues to get game time, continues to get in the team. I really don't. I get that he's had some good performances here and there. He scores good free kicks, and he contributes to goals here and there sometimes. But he's just not good enough, man. He's just not good enough to play every game. Some people are saying to me that he's benched Chilwell. He's benched Chilwell. Are you serious? Marcus Alonso has benched Chilwell. Do we agree with that? Like, come on, man. Like, he was, for me, a 5.5. I don't even think he was that good. Average performance, Almighty Blue is saying. Chilwell will come into this game. Chilwell will definitely get minutes. You know, and you got to bear in mind, people say, why aren't he playing out? We're playing in all 4 competitions, 50-plus games this season. 50-plus games this season. Of course, we're going to have, you know, a sort of a rotation. Don't be surprised if he plays on. I think Chilwell will play on Tuesday against Zenit. I think you will see that Chilwell will come in once Chilwell gets in the door and he builds up his fitness match time. I think you'll see Chilwell again taking over. But then you will might see rotation with Chilwell and Alonso. I think it's good, but he's just not gonna. He can't continuously start. Yeah, he needs to be dropped. I agree with Sir Mason Mount. He does need to be dropped. Erin says 6. Free Chilwell, football style saying. Alonso just about gets a 5. Fair enough. He was captain. Alonso was captain. We had Thiago Silva on the pitch. If someone in the chat answer me that question. Why would you make him a captain? Why would you make Alonso a captain? I really don't get it. Guys, we are 10 away from 50 likes. There's 50 people here right now. Smash the like button, guys. Smash it. Let's get to 50 likes, and I will put the link in the chat, and you guys can come on and have your say. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know your feelings about the game as well. Who you thought performed well, who you didn't perform well, how you thought the team performed. We're going to go through all of that. That is going to give you the guys the opportunity to get involved. I agree with you. The Lukaku third goal was because of Werner's run. Well, we're going to talk about it because I've got something to say about that. I really have. People just need to be patient. We do need to be patient. He was good in form until the last game. You should keep your spot until you have a stinker, is what Couch is saying. Alonso can't be beaten, Jem. He is. He's like, what do we call him? Mark Berto Carlos. That's what he is, Mark Berto Carlos. That's what we call him. You can't contain him. You can't stop him. He is undroppable. But let's move on. Can't keep looking at this guy. I can't believe this guy's still playing for Chelsea, to be honest. Right. Let's talk Kai Havertz. Because for Kai Havertz's standards, I thought we had a average game. You know, I wouldn't go far to say he was more than a 6, 5.56. He made some good runs here and there. Found it hard to get any involved in the first half. There was, you know, we lacked balance in the first half, and you could see because the attack was suffering from it. Our attack was suffering from it massively, you know. And yeah, you know, I thought Havertz was maybe a 5.56, 5.56 for me. People were saying 6.57, 4, 6, 4. You know, poor. Some people were saying as well. He was poor, but then I would say poor. I don't think poor is the right word. I just think we wasn't. I think especially in the first half, we just wasn't good with the ball. We just was not good enough with the ball going forward, and that was causing us an issue. You know, especially for people like Havertz who need He needs the ball. You need to find when he's making runs. And we wasn't making them passes quick enough. Saúl was getting caught on the ball. Cho was dilly-dallying. Alonso was just being Alonso. 6 out of 10. Kai still looks to be struggling with the pace of the game, if I'm being honest, is what Couch Critic thinks. But okay, I hear that. If not Havertz bad game, Ziyech may have got subbed before him because the latter was coming back into the... Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't Havertz's best game. But like I said, I don't think it was that kind of game anyway. I don't think we were that good overall. But I want to talk about this guy because another player that gets an opportunity, does he take it? I don't think he does. I don't think he does. Again, he had a average performance, bar average. He was shooting when he should have been making passes. His passes that he was making were too early. Too eager is the word. Too eager. Yeah, like he was just... When I look at Cho and Ziyech, right, and I'm going to be honest when I say this, I would rather have Timo Werner on the pitch ahead of both of them because he's more impactful for me. I think Timo Werner offers more than what Hakim Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi does, and Christian Pulisic to a degree. I think we need to see more of Timo Werner. I really do. Hakim Ziyech is poor decisions, poor timing, poor passing, poor everything. It was just poor. He was poor. I'm sorry. And I am more annoyed with him than I am with Saúl Niguez. And him and Cho, both of them. Them two are the ones that... I mean, more Ziyech because he's in his prime. The guy's in his prime. He should be doing better. He's in his prime. He should be stepping up. He should be one of the main guys leading us. Do you know what I mean? And he was average, man. He was so poor. I would say he was a 3. I would say he's a 3. I would say he's a 2.5. I've heard it. You've heard it. 2.5 for Hakim Ziyech. Timo Werner needs to start these games. Ziyech shouldn't be starting, especially when they're putting average performances like this. And I keep saying this. We will not win the league if the people behind Lukaku do not step up. Havertz, Ziyech, Cho, Mount, Havertz, they all need to contribute to goals. They have to contribute. Poor decision making. 5 out of 10, 4. What was everyone else saying? Ziyech was a 6. Big up to Talau. I'm a Ziyech fan, but no more defending for him. He's inconsistent. Better give chance to young players. Timo will start midweek. I reckon he would have been rested yesterday for internationals. I hear that. But do you know what, right? I know Timo Werner only came on for 9 minutes yesterday. But in them 9 minutes, I saw more from him based on his movement. Yeah, every time we did get the ball, you saw him next to Lukaku making them runs. He was there next to him, making them runs behind the defender where the space was for him to then run on in front of goal. He offers more. And I said this yesterday on Mo's channel. Are the Ziyech's, maybe the Pulisic's, definitely, Havertz, whatever, struggling because of the system, because of the way we play, how we set up? Is how we set up the issue? I want to know what your thoughts are in the chat. Guys, let's get to 50 likes. Over 50 of you here. Smash the like button for the channel as well. Appreciate it. I know it's a bit of an early stream on a Sunday. Not many people are about, but appreciate you guys all that are here. Ziyech brings something different. If he gets to form and fitness, he can bring... Yes, but I need to see that now. We haven't got the time to continuously wait for Ziyech. We need to see more from Hakim Ziyech right now. We do. I'm sorry. No more defending these guys. These guys need to turn up. 4.5. People forgetting Ziyech was good before the injury. Yeah, fine. In pre-season, wasn't it? Ziyech, Pulisic, Timo need to be more consistent. No, not even Timo. I wouldn't even put Timo in that bracket. I'm sorry. I'm just not having it anymore. I'm not having this Timo thing. Timo was inconsistent for not scoring goals, but at least Timo was still impactful when he was on the pitch. These guys are not even impactful. These guys are non-existent. These guys don't offer anything. At least he offers something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that. I really, really do. We don't play with wingers, but have a ton of them on our squad. And I agree. Maybe they're suffering because of the system. Maybe they've got to learn to adapt, like Declared said here. Chem been saying it for ages. They need to adapt. But, you know, they're training day in, day out, adapting. I know it's different from match games. I do get that. But it's got to be better. For me, it has to be better. We need more wingers and fullbacks, is what Hassan is saying. Let's move on, because I thought Hakim Ziyech was poor. And let's talk about the other top performer of the day. Man like Big Romelu Lukaku at R9. For me, he gets a 9. Oh, what? He's number 9. He's number 9. The number 9 shirt that we're cursed with. He's stepping up. He's making things happen. He is. I'm telling you, he is surprising me, even at this short time, purely because of his game. Like his improvement in his game from the last time he was here. Yesterday, he wasn't involved the whole game. There was moments where he was non-existent. But when he was involved, his touch, his hold play, running off the back of the defenders, he's finishing. Now, that first goal, to be able to not take it and sort of take it in on your right foot and then pen it into the bottom corner comfortably is world class. His second goal, you know, Aspie cutting in, plays the ball into him outside the box. We have been crying out for someone to score and finish in the way that he finishes, and he buried it. That second goal was a striker's finish. You know, when one of the ones where it just rises to the top of the net, it goes like that. That is exactly what we saw yesterday from Romelu Lukaku. He was a 9. He was outstanding for me. He was a 9 in what he had to do when we were playing so poor. To then when we get the opportunity in front of goal to take your chance, which is something we struggled with last season massively, to take the chance when we needed him to. Hats off to him. Hats off to him massively. And yeah, it was definitely a top performance from Romelu Lukaku. We're on 42 likes, guys. We're only on 42 likes. 50 likes is the aim, my man. 50 likes is my aim. Can we get there? Can we get to 50 likes? The link is going to be in the chat very, 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 very soon. Let's go through some of these chats. 9. Lukaku is top, no doubt. He's got 2 half chances and banged them. Fair enough. Clinical. Great word to use, Couch Critic. He was clinical yesterday. 9 out of 10, 2 half chances, 2 goals. Was a top performance. Was a top performance, 100%. 9. Lukaku versus Romy versus Salah for the golden boot is what Sir Mount saying. 10. Guys, continue smashing the like button. I will be releasing the link in the chat for you to come and have your say now. Let's get you involved. Enough blagging by me. Let's try and do that now. Get in the chat. The link's in the chat. Come in and have your say. I spoke about the substitutions, but like I said to you, Timo Werner, I thought only 9 minutes in. We want to see more from him, Lukaku together. I think we'll get that. Aspie coming on, stabilised the right a lot better. We look more strong from the back as well, which is a good thing. Winter Service says Rom is an assassin. The link is in the chat, people. If you want to come on, have your say, get involved, please do so. You're always welcome to do so. But let's get to 50 likes. Smash the like button. Let's try and get to the 50 like mark. All that crying over Haaland for nothing. Chelsea will walk in the league. Indiana in the chat already being salty. Aspie was good on the assists. C1's laughing at Abs. Don't know what he's done. Where was Lukaku against Chelsea small club bully? Where was Lukaku against Liverpool small club bully? Abdi, man. What is it with Man United fans, eh? Man United fans being so salty. Man United fans being so salty. But we do have Abs here, here, and we do have man like Perry Sports here. Let's go to Perry Sports first, because obviously he's an Aston Villa fan. What do you think of the overall game, mate? Was you impressed with your performance in the first half, and why didn't you win? Why didn't you take your opportunities in the first half? What was the reasons?
I don't know. To be fair, it's just frustration. It's just what you get as a Villa fan: frustration after frustration.
Why though?
It's just what I don't know, because we had so many key opportunities where Watkins hitting their post, very good save from Mendy. He should have run Mendy if Thiago Silva weren't there. Obviously, bloody weren't there, but he was there, unfortunately. That possibly would have been goal. Conte had a few chances, but he absolutely fluffed it. So many opportunities we just don't take. It's frustrating.
Yeah, and you just didn't take your chances. That was the issue in that game. I thought Aston Villa played very well in the first half, and they were hitting our weaknesses. The weaknesses in the first half for Chelsea were the right side and Saúl Niguez, who was struggling with the tempo of the game. And I just thought that if Aston Villa were going to get anything out of that game, they had to have took their chances in the first half, because Chelsea coming out in the second, I didn't expect anything less than us actually dominating. And as of we did, I thought we did in the second half. There was more, especially when Jorginho come on, he sort of dictated the play a lot more, So it was definitely an interesting half. But we've got Abs with us as well. Abs, what you saying?
Yeah, what are you saying, Jim? What's everyone else saying?
Talk to me, mate. Performance. What are you saying about the performance yesterday?
All right, so I never got this in because I had to just give the gas yesterday on the terrace. But yeah, so what was it? The performance was actually lacking, to be honest, a little bit. And what was it? Obviously, Bolingoli came with the goods. 1 shot, 1 kill. Or should I say 2 shots, 2 kills, actually, because he had 2 goals still. I covered the shotters back as well. We love to see it. And yeah, I told you, John, we're going to win this league. I did take a step too far by saying Lukaku's R9. He isn't. Nobody is. But we're going to win this league still. But if we're going to win the league, certain people need to pattern up. First off, Saúl, it's your first game. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you need to pattern up. Alonso, I don't think Alonso is that, Cho, you need to pattern up. For real, Cho needs to pattern up. What's his name? Havertz as well was not great yesterday. And Ziyech as well. Ziyech is doing a Ross Barkley where he's performing in preseason, then it comes to the real start of the season and he's dead. That can't happen. He needs to pattern up as well. So that's what I've got to say.
Can I say something?
Go on,
Jim. First of all, I will give the blame at Saúl in the first half. He was the problem to not get the attacker in position to pass. Just I don't blame the attackers like Ziyech and Lukaku and Havertz, because they are trying to be in the middle. Like when you see Havertz in the middle came, he's trying to tell him to pass the ball and so on. When I see the match, so I will not be like very aggressive in the attack. I will say much at Saúl's problem issue in the first half, and also Alonso of lacking pace, and he caught a lot of times and against Aston Villa match. And I hate to see him. Like Chilwell was the best last season against Champions League in every Premier League game, and assisting. And I just give the credit. Like I hope that he better to let him start in the Zenit match. Chilwell. He better not.
I've already said it already. I actually want to see Timo Werner more. I do, and I think people like Hakim Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi, they're just not. They're just, for me, when they get the opportunity, they're just not impactful enough. Especially Ziyech more so, because like he was fizzing out the game yesterday. All right, Timo Werner, we criticise him for not scoring goals, but at least he's impactful when he's on the pitch. With his movement, at least he offers something. He plays to his strengths. And I know Indiana's here as well, and he will have a lot to say about it as well. But it wasn't the greatest performances, but we got the job done, and that's the most important thing. Getting the job done in games where you're not exactly playing well. And Lukaku gives us that. Being clinical, getting goals, and we move basically. We do move on, but we've got Declared here as well. What are you saying, Declared?
Jim, panel, what's going on?
Yeah, not bad, mate. You all right?
You good? Man, my boy Saúl, man, we hyped him up, but I did feel that he needs time, right? I wanted him to start with Jorginho, right? But the biggest thing was that he filled in big shoes. So he was going to do what Jorginho did. If you remember when Mount tried to do that, that's big shoes to fill for any player, right? That's why it's hard to replace. Even we say Gilmore can do it. He hasn't done it to the fullest. That's why he needs game time. But it wasn't his best game. But people did turn on him pretty hard. And I mean, if people are gonna, probably the same people that turned on Silva in his first game too. So people
Silva was
overreacting.
class.
Yeah, but on his first game, he had a bad debut as well.
I know.
So Saúl needs some time. If Saúl was the big player that everyone hoping he was, we wouldn't get him on a loan. Just so everyone know, yeah. So he's obviously we're getting a player that we're hoping to find his previous form. Ziyech, I've been saying it. These players are trying to adapt.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Havertz, I'll give him a little pass, man. The big thing about this game and the players that were chosen to start this game was this is after an international break of 3 games in 10 days and a lot of travel. That's why I think these selections were made. Plus, we got a Champions League game in a couple of days, and so yeah.
On Tuesday.
I think it was expected. I was expecting a shaky game, to be honest. Like we won 3-0. It goes to show how good some of our players were. We won 3-0. We talk of Mendy being man of the match, which sounds so weird in a 3-0 game.
He's world class.
And Rudiger, and give credit also to Rudiger and Silva.
Rudiger,
Mendy was class.
Yeah, Mendy is world class. Like wow, like he should take the Golden Glove.
I had a lot of rivals.
If he did like this.
I had a lot of rivals coming to me yesterday saying that he's not world class. Blah, blah, blah.
Nah, haters,
Yeah, well,
haters.
Not yet.
They're gonna see it. They can say it.
Why is he not world class yet, Indiana?
For me, I need to see a player do it.
In my
for, like,
opinion,
3 seasons.
De Gea is worse.
Hold
Mendy's
up.
the top.
Guys, one second.
He's gonna spit some big facts.
Wait, one second. I want to hear Indiana's say. Go on, Indiana. What you saying?
So for me, with Mendy, I think he's a quality goalkeeper, and I'm not saying he won't. I'm not saying that he isn't world class. I'm just saying I wouldn't give him that status until he's done it for like 3 seasons. Go in some Premier Leagues and things like that, and then talk about it. But yeah, I don't like the idea of sort of a player playing two seasons and then calling him world class. But I think he's got all the ability. I like him. I like him as a keeper. I think he's really good. I think he's a brilliant keeper. But that's just where I sit with it. And
So what are you saying?
I agree.
Oh, okay.
Are you saying consistency is the key to him being?
Yeah, Jim, I think for me it's minimum 3 seasons before I would start. I use world class too loosely. Like,
Okay. Who won the UCL award?
3 seasons, Indiana. But you know, I was waiting for you to give that prediction because everyone said De Gea was world class when he struggled for season and then he performed in 1 or 2.
I think
De Gea is a Premier League winner, to be fair.
De Gea did it for a number of seasons, though, right? So
Yeah,
He's
he
fouled
did.
for more.
I'm a Man United fan, and I'm not calling Paul Pogba world class. I think he's got world class ability, but he's not a world class player in my opinion.
Pogba hasn't been
No,
consistent.
I actually agree with you. I was waiting. Man United fans used to say De Gea was world class, and
but I
he
think
fouled more than he.
De Gea right now is bad, to be honest.
Right now.
He's recovered his form, though, to be fair, this season. He's been...
Yeah,
good.
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, so what Indiana say is right. If you know, Mendy has to show, and the keepers that we've called world class have done it consistently over a number of seasons. That's why De Gea doesn't fit in that category because he's had more poor seasons than really good ones, even though he's finding his form.
De Gea is not world class right now. He's not. I think you know it's again it's being able to perform consistency season upon season. That's right. And I'm not saying Mendy won't do that because honestly, I think he's a quality keeper. I think
since obviously Cech and Courtois, I think he's the next. The reason I put him in there is because, or close to it, is because when he came to Chelsea, no one knew what we were signing. We just thought it was just a stopgap for Kepa. As long as he could catch a ball and make a save, that's all we cared about because we know Kepa's barometers were really poor. But he came in and he surprised me how easy he made it look. Not only just catching the ball, but from corners being able to command your box and his distribution, which was his weakness, which was his biggest weakness.
It's shot stopping as well, Jem. Yeah, shot stopping is just great. Mendy, man, he's just quality.
His biggest weakness was his distribution, and he's improved on that massively. Something that you need to under Tuchel because we play from the back, and I just think he's got everything he needs to become. I mean, the clutch saves for me. How many clutch saves did he make yesterday, Indiana? How many top? top save.
Well,
Even against
7.
Liverpool as well.
He had to make too many.
I think Mendy gives assurance to the back four as well. Before under Kepa, it feels that every time someone takes a shot, it could go in. With Mendy, you don't have that sort of feeling. I feel confident.
Comfortable,
With Mendy
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, but it makes your back four confident. When you got a top goalkeeper, it gives your back four confidence, allows you to play more. But I mean, for me, can I just speak on Saúl? I think it was the perfect game for him. If I'm honest, I'm not saying he played a perfect game. I think it was the perfect game to throw him into for the way that the opposition play fast, aggressive football. He's going to have to go back to training every day now and remember that game.
He will understand the intensity.
Yeah, that's it. I think it was the perfect game for him to play, and it was a game where you've got more than enough ability to beat the team, and it showed him exactly what the Premier League is all about. The last thing you want to do is get an injury and have to play him against a Man City in the Premier League or a Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? I think it's.
Yeah.
I think
I
it
would
was.
I would have personally rathered Loftus-Cheek to start ahead of him.
No, I think.
Come on, man! Like,
no.
Bro, we got a non-Chelsea fan saying the right things, right? And because I've heard so many other stupid things, and then you're like, I want Loftus-Cheek. Have you seen Loftus-Cheek play in that role?
Yeah, that's
you see him in the
nonsense.
preseason.
I don't want
Give him a chance.
Give him a chance.
We know what he can do.
How could you have that? How can you have that like position on a player that you haven't seen, just random lotto kind of?
He played there,
and then you see Saúl, and then you go, you don't want to give Saúl a chance anymore, right? This goes for any player. Like
you played there in preseason.
That's a too reactionary, right? And I was watching a watch along, and people were saying, "Well, why didn't we get Tchouameni and Bellingham?" Like, but they criticize Saúl 5 minutes in, and I go, well,
yeah.
Do people think if we got Tchouameni that he was going to hit the ground running?
Well, to be fair,
everyone had that reaction.
You can't criticize him in one game.
He should be hitting the ground running though. He's an experienced.
No, he shouldn't.
No. He shouldn't be performing like that. He plays for Atletico.
He hasn't. Number one. I don't know how much football he played prior to this. This is his first game in the Premier League. Let's be serious. The difference between the Premier League and the Liga, for me, is very evident because him thinking he can have 3 or 4 touches in midfield, which he was doing yesterday, and then getting caught out, is something he will have to learn. He can have games like that. It's just how he responds from that. You know, I think you have to give him time. You can't sit there in one game and go, he's this, he should be doing. But at the end of the day, he had a poor performance. No one's condoning that. But can he do better moving forward? Of course he can. And I think he will.
Yeah, of course he can. But I just wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to be so under par like that. But he will.
Yeah, but listen. I've just come back from coaching junior football, and lost the game. And for me, sometimes I prefer it when you lose a game or someone has a bad performance, because it gives you something to work on and keep players sharp. And he's going to reflect on his performance and the game and the Premier League, and he'll come back stronger because he's a top player. I won't worry about it at all.
Yeah, hopefully.
Bobby,
I will not be surprised if he starts against Zenit again.
Maybe. I think. Look, I keep saying I want to see Timo Werner play now. I don't see why he's not. And I
want Timo Werner to play as well. I think
Timo will start. Yeah,
and I would like to play a 3-5-2 with Werner and Lukaku up front, and then Mount, Pogba, Jorginho in the midfield. I think that will suit the way we'll play.
I think you'll see Havertz more than you will Mount, if I'm honest.
Huh?
I think you'll see Havertz more than you will Mount.
No.
I think Mount needs to be in the team though.
Well, I don't disagree with that actually. I think you might see Mount rotated with Werner quite a lot.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel Jamie would be more Havertz than Mount. Remember what I was saying, one of those players got to help in the midfield. They're going to drop back, right? And Ziyech tried to do that yesterday, and I think that's where he wasn't doing well. And Havertz tried to, because one of them got a drop, right? And they both tried to do it, and they weren't that great yesterday. And I think that was one of the issues of the game, and that's where you saw Mount being real missed. But I think if you see a lineup like Ziyech, Werner, Lukaku, I'm not a big fan of that. That's why I think at least Havertz and Mount, one of them have to play each game. And I think they're the two that get to rotate more.
I personally would go Havertz off of Lukaku. I think this kid is incredible. I think he's amazing. Ghosting in the box. He's such a goal threat.
I know,
with the midfield and back back line and your goalkeeper, we have to mention Mendy. I think you're going to sustain so many attacks this season that you're better off with, like, as much as because I do rate Mason Mount as a footballer, but he's not the goal threat that Havertz is. And when you get games where Lukaku is trying to be marked out of the game, he will just ghost into those spaces and he'll cause teams problems. Honestly, I think he's going to be, apart from Lukaku, I think he'll be a player of the season. I can see it happen.
Yeah, 100%. That's why my favorite formation is Havertz and Mount and Lukaku, just because whatever that Mount drops more gives Havertz more of that option to ghost like you said. But then when teams start to pick up on that more, then Havertz drops deep, and it's hard to break. It's hard to tactically break that, stop that as well. So it gives us that flexibility. Whereas when you have Werner, he's not going to be the main one dropping deep as Mount and Havertz would do. So that's I love that.
I want to see Werner Havertz. I want to see Werner Havertz and Lukaku. I want to see that. I actually want to see that.
It kind of comes down to the game, Jim. Like, if a team, like I said, if a team plays a higher line, 100%, I want to see Werner, because they will be more worried about Werner than Lukaku, right? In a team that plays a higher line. But in a team that's going to, sit back like Villa did, right, and just play long balls and sit tight and don't give us the room, I don't think Werner's that effective when they don't give him some room.
I hear that. I do hear that. We've got Bobby. Go, Bobby, what you saying, man?
Let it rip, Bobby.
Hey, Jem. Hi. I don't know. I think I'm tripping in and out because I'm driving. I've just pulled over to chat with you a bit. I caught what you were saying about Werner. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I caught what you guys were saying about Werner. I completely agree. But I think we kind of have a habit of talking in what I call finite terms. We see a game, we see a lineup, and we talk, this is what it's going to be for Chelsea. This is a big season. Who would have known that Alonso would be captain? Things are going to change. Things are going to be rotated. These players all are going to play a part. I have concerns over three players that didn't perform well yesterday. I do have concerns. It's important to appreciate and take things into perspective. Yes, we won 3-0 despite the obvious deficiencies, which I think is remarkable, because Villa did try and think they were going to ambush us with the sort of international break syndrome that a lot of top clubs have. But I'm concerned about Niguez. I know he needs time, but there's just something he did in the game. We can forgive him. It's only 45 minutes, but he took 2 goals. He basically passed the ball to the opposition in mega dangerous areas. But for the brilliance of Mendy, it will be talking different today. He's young. His inability to impact games, the willingness to even want to impact games, concerns me for his entire future. Because if he plays the way he's playing going forward, he's not going to get anywhere at any club. And Ziyech as well. Ziyech is not young. Ziyech is a mature player. He's at his prime. And he was there to be a bit of an orchestrator. But he's weak. And he's got to toughen up. And you can't say, you don't know what the Premier League is about. He's had a year in the Premier League, albeit out injured. I'll just take it this time. It's a bad day at the office for all three of them. And Niguez, from the tweet he put out, he showed he didn't perform well, and he's got to go back to the drawing board. But they've all got to really look at themselves. I posted that I would like to see Cho play again, and indeed Ziyech play again, because after the shocker they had yesterday, I would be amazed if they repeat it against Zenit on Tuesday.
Yeah, I hear you, and I hear what you say, Bobby, as well. I want to see more from the Ziyech's. I want to see more from other individuals. But I just think with Timo Werner, I just feel like I've been very consistent with it. I want to see him play more. I think Mount, Havertz, and Lukaku will be the first sort of three, like in the bigger games. I just think that'll be the way he will play. But Timo Werner should, for me, be the second individual that we should be looking at. I don't think Hakim Ziyech has took his opportunity. I don't think Pulisic has taken really an opportunity. I know people will say, well, Werner, he's inconsistent. But you say that, but he offers more in games. He's just more impactful in his strengths. He runs off the defenders, creates space, which I think would help and benefit Lukaku more as well, because he will play right next to him. He will play right next to him, and I just want to see Lukaku, Werner, and Havertz or Mount at some point play, and I hope it's on Tuesday, just to see how it stems and how it goes.
Yeah. All right, now here's something that might need to be brought up still. As good as Villa played yesterday, do you not think it might be time for a bit of what's it called? Do you not think it might be time for maybe to try out a four at the back again?
I don't think
hear me out.
He won't change it.
Well,
Yeah,
can I ask you, Abs? I'll ask Abs a question. Do you think?
Wait, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think that, and now that you brought that, do you think that Tuchel should adjust the system to the players, or the players should adjust to the system?
I think it's a mix of both, to be honest. I think that Tuchel at some point may have to, because when he came in, it was clear that three at the back was the way we had to go. Because the problem is, when normally two centre backs, you have one who attacks and one who sweeps. The problem is we don't really have a centre back pairing who do that well as a pair together. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I thought naturally play a three at the back. The only issue with the three at the back is when teams match up to you, especially against Villa when they play two strikers, it can get a bit, it can get exposed a bit. So that's why I was thinking maybe it might be, I'm not saying in the big games, but maybe like, for instance, when we play Malmo or even Zenit, we could try and, actually no, not Zenit because it's the first game we need to win, but maybe in the later stages of the Champions League or in games which aren't as important, we should try a four at the back just to see.
Test it. Yeah.
See how it impacts our attacking play, because right now, the patterns of play are good, but our forwards, apart from Lukaku, are struggling a bit. And I'd want to see like Havertz play as more of a number 10, in a role behind the two strikers rather than be as a floating 10 with one of Ziyech, Mount, or Werner. So we should give it a go at some point, because at some point someone's going to figure out how to slap us with this three at the back system.
And they will do everything. Eventually, you get found out, and that happens to all team, every team. It's just how you adapt to it, and that's the next big question mark for Chelsea Football Club when we get there. I don't think that will happen yet, because I think whatever we're doing right now is working, and it's obviously getting the best. It might not be getting the best out of individual players, but we're winning games and we're not conceding, and that's the most important thing. Now we've got Lukaku, who, for example, done what he done yesterday. We didn't play well, but he still got one or two chances and he put them in the back of the net and it won us the game. So it's just about it. It will be about us taking our chances, even if the people behind Lukaku are just not playing well enough, So it's going to be an interesting one.
Can I add to that, Jim, to what Abs was saying? Because I know it's a bit of a, let's call it a little bit, don't take it the wrong way, but it's a little bit of a fantasy way of thinking. I want to see, just like everyone wants to see different players do different things, and even someone said he wants to see Loftus-Cheek, because we all want to see something new. But right now it's working. But to go on, we do have a centre backs that can play in the back four, right? We've had that even under Lampard. We had that playing a massive high line. We didn't have to play that high line, just the way Lampard wanted to play. But if you got to look in the history of Tuchel, because what he's doing at Chelsea, he was trying to do it at PSG. Yeah, right? He played, and I remember some people in the chat when I brought this up last time didn't believe me. Right, in one of those Champions League games, he put Neymar as a wing back. What he did to Cho now.
Did he? Oh, sure.
Yeah, and that's how the one they made it to the finals and lost. In the semi-finals, he put Neymar in wing back role, which actually worked. Threw the other team off. It was just a tactical move. So Tuchel has had this. He played Marquinhos. When people did the lineup, people thought he was playing Marquinhos as a midfielder, right? Yeah. But he's doing what we do in a back three at the moment, right? That he did both the roles, right? And so Tuchel has had this in his locker, right? And coming to Chelsea, he found this because we've had so many different coaches that play this way, right? And he implemented it, and it kicked off straight away, and it's a winning formula now. To just dismantle it, right? Because Tuchel has been working on this for how long? Just to go to back four, just to see is the words you put it in, is kind of like crazy. But I think Tuchel might be working on something else, and maybe Tuchel has been working on something else, like you said, and he might be waiting for that moment too. But like I said, it takes. It's just something. It's theory till they can do it.
Yeah.
And when you see it, you're not going to see your typical one. Your typical four in the back. You're going to see something different.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying
Declared,
that
I'm amused when I look at Tuchel's tactics, and the brilliance of Thomas Tuchel is that he is the master of flexibility, and he continues working on the flexibility of his team. You know, talking about going to a back four, a back three, it's just how you're talking like the opposition. The opposition are looking for finite terms to deal with Chelsea, and you're not going to find them because that's not how he plays. He is continuously morphing the team in game, morphing the players. He wants them flexible. He wants them to be able to play here, there. Cho started as a wing back, then he became a right winger, then he became a left winger. All these things are driving the opposition tacticians nuts because his team is perfect at what they do, which is flexibility. So he's just, I mean, even look at what he's done with Kovacic. Now, Kovacic has always had that performance that he had yesterday in his locker. And believe me, long may that continue because that guy's an absolute baller. But the flexibility with which he uses Kovacic in midfield, 1 minute he's in the pivot, although he had to be because for a lot of the time he was carrying Niguez. But 1 minute he's in the pivot, then he's holding, then he's the box to box, then he's the playmaker. Then it's just driving them crazy, such that John McGinn yesterday resorted to just kicking everybody because he couldn't keep up with it.
No, wouldn't he? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with what Bobby says. Go on now. So you're going to say something? Say something.
No, but it's just like I think people are getting it wrong. I'm not trying to say that four at the back needs to be the way forward. I'm just saying, right, that in general, yeah, you're right. Tuchel is quite tactically flexible, but we at some point are gonna have to try. We're gonna have to try doing a few new things on the pitch as well, not just in terms of positions, but in terms of formation stuff, in terms of the way we attack and defend and all that. Because that's just it. It's not to discredit Tuchel's tactical flexibility or say he's a crap manager who's only got one way of playing. It's just trying to figure out a way. So, like, if I'm looking at centre backs right now, if we were to look at maybe one person who's we could probably say Rudiger and Silva. Let's just say, for example, Rudiger attacks and Silva comes and cleans up. That could be a pairing that works. Even like when we had when we had Terry and Carvalho. Terry would attack and Carvalho would sweep, right? And we won the league 2 years in the advance doing that. So yeah, I'm just saying it's not to say Tuchel's got that tactics.
That's old now, and no one does it. I get it, Jim and Abs. But this is the way I look at it, and maybe this will be more clear. I do get what you're saying. Like I said, you want to see it, right? Before you just want to see it and see how it goes because we haven't seen it. But the way I look at it is that we have a system now. Tuchel's got this system, and it's a winning formula right now. And instead of you saying maybe we got to change it up because we're going to get found out, but rather than that, wouldn't you want to work at the system, right, and improve the actual system? As people are trying to work us out, we're actually improving the system. And I'll give you a perfect example, and this is why I like it. Pep has been working at his system, right, and every team he versus has to adapt to him. Even us, we had to change the way we play, and every team that he plays against Manchester City or Pep's teams.
To us, to be fair, but go on. Yeah.
Right?
I think Pep had to adapt to us the way we played.
Yeah, and that's where the trouble. But we still had to change our game. We changed our game, right, for that game, right. I know that happens in one or two games, but when you'll see now, right? Even now, we're at the stage that every team is changing their play style. When we verse some of the big teams, they're going to change their play style to try beat us. That's why what I'm looking at improving this system rather than looking to change it altogether, because then you also call it a failed system. You brought up the little sweeper attacking combo. That is found out now, right? The 4-3-3 finished that system. That's how old it is. So it's like when Mourinho bought the 4-2-3-1, right? And now that's been found out too.
Well, declared this formation has the same sort of similarities to what Conte played under Chelsea and won the league convincingly with it. It's the same sort. If you look at what it is now, with the 3 at the back, 3-4-3, it has its same resemblances. And I agree, obviously, but at the same time, I think eventually we will at some point have to adapt and switch it up. And if it means going back to a back 4, having wingers playing with 2 up front or 1 with 1 striker, I don't know, whatever we're going to do, then
there is a difference, Jim, though.
May happen, at a later stage. So
yeah, because people starting to get on when Conte did it, right? And you saw. Did you remember when that season we won the league, right? Did you remember the last run of games we were struggling?
Mm.
Did you remember that? I remember because teams started to adjust. Yeah, and the difference between the difference between the Conte system was he played more direct and he wanted to be more solid, right? More defensive. And when teams parked the bus against us, we struggled. What Tuchel's brought into our system, right, is a high possession. Use the benefit, because the main thing about that system is that you do counter pressing. Teams can't press you because you have 5 plus the keeper, and if teams want to press you so much, all it takes is one long ball, and that's why it was crucial for Conte to have a big forward, right, up front, so he can hold the ball, and you're direct to that guy. If people want to press you, if any team wanted to think they can press, right, it was such a counter-pressing thing. So Tuchel took that with high possession, right, and that's why we kept so many clean sheets. And we don't play direct. That's the difference from Conte, and this is all new to people. And I do agree, right, that they're going to try adapt, right. Let me read it. Yeah, and so where we differ in opinion, right, me and Abs, is that I'd rather see more different players, right, to improve this, to improve the system, and or tweaks that Tuchel can do that he finds, rather than just change it and find something new altogether.
I hear
because
that.
You know when that happens, Jim. Every time we get a new coach, that's what happens to us. And I feel Tuchel is the most important.
That's because the manager that you've brought in has different ideas, different styles, and that will always happen. It just depends how long we keep the manager. Because if you switch the manager, you switch your ideas, you switch the type of player profile, you switch everything. Everything changes based upon the manager that you've got. But we've got some other people here. We've got Hassan. Hassan, what you saying, man?
Yeah, I mean, I was just listening to what you guys were saying, and just to go basis on off the game, I think we just got lucky, to be honest. Like, in terms of it was Villa, because if Saúl did that to, let's say, a Man City, a Liverpool, or a United, for example, we would have got punished heavily. And I know it's his first game, so we're gonna have to give him time. And I personally feel like he should have started. I feel like he should have came on in the second half, but it is what it is. And I mean, Lukaku does what Lukaku does best. And I mean, I can't remember the last time we had. I can't remember the last time we had a striker that put all his chances away in a single game. I think it's been that long.
Yeah, it has been long, and it's nice, isn't it? It's nice to actually have a striker that can, that's the most important thing as well. But we move on now. Three games. What every 3 to 4 days we've got a game, so it's going to be a busy period all the way going into October as well. We've got football style here. We've got Block 10 pie eater, which is Fator. I know that. That is definitely Block 10 pie eater, Fator.
How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that's me, man?
Because there's images of you. It's images of you eating pies on when Lukaku's celebrating. The picture that's taken is you behind him going like that while you're eating your pie, which is funny.
Yes.
I can see Fatar in that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just about see him still.
He is so lucky. He should be.
He is. But Fatou, you was at the game yesterday. What was the feeling around this, especially in the first half, because we wasn't playing well? And how did it go with the fans over there?
Yeah, we were a bit patient, you know. We all know what Villa are going to do to us in the early stages, and they did have their game plan set up, and it was truly presented by the lots of chances that they had. If it wasn't for Mendy in that first half, we could have been that 3-1 down. I think we're too complacent at times. Saúl Niguez made a couple of mistakes in terms of passing in the midfield area. He was caught up like too many times by the Villa midfield, and it'll come good for him. And it's just going to take time for him to settle into this league as well. But bear in mind, he just came in from the league a couple of weeks ago, and it's not that easy to get that into the Premier League within 2 weeks. So game by game, he will be improving a lot. And the Champions League, I don't see him starting a lot. Probably in the Champions League, he might be coming on as a substitute. And I think the fans kind of like, you know, in the stadium itself, it feels like a proper home game. Even though it's against Villa, but it's just that we have got that feeling back within our side in the fan base. Especially in our end, especially the fans were really loud, chanting Lukaku goal every single time he scored a goal, man. But yeah, man, good vibes all around.
The celebration was cold. The last goal.
Yeah. I mean, there's a comment here from Kansan saying I was in the stadium crowd cheered more for Odoi dribbling and Timo coming on. Lukaku coming was not popular with Cobham.
Cobham's section was.
Was that the case, Fatou? Was it not?
I think the second half is kind of like when Timo was coming on, especially. We all know what happened in that training, open training session a couple of weeks back prior to this game, and it's a no-brainer the way that fan base still backing Timo as well, and in the Matthew Harding low end though, like I'm not really that surprised that so many people out there still supporting Timo, even though he had a bad patch a couple of games now. He hasn't been starting a lot, and yes, he did recover some of his form in that international break with Hansi Flick. But I feel like it's just getting started with him. Like he just needs goals to score, and I truly believe that he will score goals in the Champions League.
Yeah, come.
I will not be surprised if I see him. He will be mostly in the subs, like because Havertz, how he plays is very good. Like at the moment, not as Havertz, to be honest.
Yeah, yesterday Havertz was not good. Let's be honest, he wasn't.
I know, because the midfield was an issue. Like nobody can pass the ball in front. That was the issue, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Saúl was the problem, and his lack of confidence and intensity. And yeah.
I do hear that. I am going to shoot because I want to go and watch the Formula One. Obviously, I know Fatou is going to be watching it as well. So we'll be tuning into watching the F1 and whatever else, guys. But guys, continue smashing the like button, subscribe to the channel. More streams coming this week for you as well. We're going to review the Chelsea and Zenit St. Petersburg game. We'll be doing that. We've got the Premier League review show to do as well. Match reactions. Everything Chelsea. Debate show. We'll be doing a debate show. I haven't been able to do one this week. Could have done it this evening. Maybe this evening. We'll see. Might do a debate show. We'll see. I'll let you know. But take care, guys. Thank you for all coming on. Declared Football Star, Abs, Hassan, Fatou, Lane. Thank you to all guys for tuning in. Continue smashing the like button, guys. And we'll see you next stream. Peace.
VIP, stay low key. Like bando, bitch, oh please, yeah. Brand new whip, no keys, yeah. Get down on knees, yeah.